Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm checking in from home. It's actually cooled off a bit here in Cleveland, which is nice. I'm tired of this heat, and it's time for me to get into some beers. So what I have for you today is Boddington's Pub Ale. I'm sure most people are familiar with this beer. It's a pretty common beer. You can easily find it at a lot of places. This is from Boddington's Brewery out of Shamelessbury, Lancaster, England. I'm sure I mispronounced all that because I always mispronounce these foreign cities. And this is like I said, it's a pub ale. It comes in at, see if it says somewhere here on the can what the alcohol percentage is. It doesn't say on the alcohol. 4.6% ABV. It says 124 calories, 9.4 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of protein, 0 fats, imported by Import Brands Alliance, St. Louis, Missouri. It's out of the United Kingdom, obviously. On the back here is a little blurb. Since 1778, when it was first brewed at the Strange Ways Brewery in Manchester, Boddington's has been renowned as a unique pale gold ale in English pubs. In English pubs, Boddington's is served using the traditional hand-pulled method, which mixes air with the ale as it pours, producing a distinctive creamy head and smooth body with little gassiness. Ordinary packaged ale cannot match this quality, but the drought flow system does by releasing millions of tiny bubbles when open. Drought flow cans give the creamy head and authentic fresh taste of Boddington's Pub Ale. The drought flow system employs a small recyclable device which floats in the ale. Recyclable. So is it aluminum and you just recycle it with this can, or you got to pop it out of the can and recycle it? Not sure. That'd be interesting. For best results, serve cool but not ice cold. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. This is probably about 38. Carefully open can, pour contents into glass. And surprisingly, the picture here shows it as being poured at a 45-degree angle, roughly. And I've always poured this like you pour Guinness. Just dump it right down in the can and let it cascade and all that. But we'll try it the way the picture shows. Smooth and creamy. Wait and watch the head settle on a perfect glass of Boddington's Pub Ale. And the date on here is July 2024. It's August 2024, so this should still be good, still be in date. Here you can hear that shakluk and that nitrogenated pop. So on Beer Advocate, this gets around, on Untappd, this gets a 3.38 with 149,000 check-ins. On Beer Advocate, it gets a 74 okay with 3,096 check-ins. And since there's so many check-ins on Beer Advocate, I'll give you the aggregate score. The aggregate score is 3.21. Not too far off from Untappd. And that poured out pretty well. Get a nose on it. It's kind of got that weird vanilla nitrogenated smell to it. But I don't know if this makes sense, but it almost smells creamy. But you know from the nose, this isn't just a regular carbonated beer. And while I was talking, that cascade disappeared pretty quick. And that turned into a pretty clear looking beer, probably about a 7 on my SRM chart over here. Yeah, it's probably about a 7 on the SRM. And there were a lot of fine bubbles inside that. There were some tiny, tiny fine bubbles in there just floating around. I'm sure you can't see them on camera. And this head is just very moose-like, very thick, not going anywhere. I mean, that looks like you could walk across that. That looks like whipped cream, but not the canned whipped cream, like proper whipped cream in a professional restaurant with a nice dessert menu. They have that nice, proper, scratch-made whipped cream. That's what this head looks like. Let's see how creamy it tastes. Cheers, everybody. That is smooth, creamy. A little bit of it's bitterness, but it's not hot bitterness. It's kind of like, it's a different type of bitterness. It's I guess kind of like bitterness you get with some of these nitrogenated beers. I don't know if a lot of people pick up on that, but it's a different type of bitterness. It's not bad, but it's just, again, that flavor, it's not a regular carbonated beer. And the can says it's a pale gold ale, but I don't know. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's kind of watery, but there's not really a whole lot of flavor there. Just a little bit of that weird, almost gassy bitterness. Not that it's off-putting. Not much else there. I mean, it's just a average, easy drinking beer. Now, I could put down a lot of these, but it's nothing special. As far as this beer goes, I have bought it in the past. I wouldn't be upset if somebody gave it to me, but it's just kind of a let it play. There's much better beers out there than this. Just not my thing. Just not a lot of flavor, nothing special there. I think if I've ordered a beer, something like this, I go for more of a cream ale, or maybe a mild or a bitter. Not so much just Boddington's pub ale. It's just kind of there. So like I said, I'd give it a let it play. Not upset about it. If you wanted to buy me one, I'd be happy to drink it. But it's not something I would stock regularly. Not something I would buy regularly. But it's always an adventure drinking some of these different beers. It's cool to see this in the States all the time. It's nice to have something that's different than just your regular old carbonated beer. And as always, embrace the adventure.